Nobody saw this coming this fast. And nah, I ain't just talking about the injury bug biting us again. I'm talking about that one name circling the back channels that could flip the script this week, but hold up, let me pump the brakes for a second. I'm Matt Coleman, and the vibes around the Seattle Seahawks right now, they're weird. Not bad, not great, just that specific kind of heavy tension that hits right before something massive goes down. We got 3 guys potentially heading to IR, Kenneth Walker finally cooking like we knew he could, 2 linebackers trending toward a return, and an old familiar face might just change everything. Or am I jumping the gun here? Shock doesn't even begin to cover what went down on Sunday. And if you blinked, you probably missed 3 dudes dropping like flies in a game that was theoretically supposed to be a cakewalk. But chill, the sky ain't falling yet, but we got to put this situation under the microscope. We're looking at 3 names likely hitting injured reserve: Ty Okada, Chaz Surratt, and George Holani. To the casual fan, these guys might fly under the radar, but they carry real weight in that locker room, and that's exactly where the silent problem is. Okada was straight up holding it down in Julian Love's absence. I mean, the kid wasn't just filling a spot, he was playing with that swagger, timing, and aggression you see in guys fighting for their careers. Seeing him grab his hip after that tackle on Prosh 2, that silence on the sideline spoke volumes. And when a unit is already depleted, losing the backup to the backup makes everything shaky. Quick check-in. How comfy are you feeling rolling into a must-win game with DeAnthony Bell, Nick Emenwari, and Kobe Bryant as your only healthy safeties? Yeah, exactly. Take a breath, because there's more. Chaz Surratt, an underrated stud on special teams, is crucial for us. And let's be real, our coverage units have been suspect all season. Getting rolled up on during a block wasn't pretty, and Mike McDonald kept it a buck. IR is on the table. Translation? It's serious. And Holani? He's the type of grinder you don't miss until he's gone. He was the glue guy keeping the backfield rotation alive. Without him, the room gets tight, especially with Walker and Charbonnet already taking a beating every week. It's ironic, right? Just as K9 gets going, the depth behind him vanishes. The IR list is looking like a CVS receipt right now. Reed, Love, Horton, Sundell, Sauber, Derek Young. Remember the Legion of Boom days when it felt like our guys were made of iron every Sunday? Yeah, those days are long gone. So the million-dollar question is, how does this roster respond when the body starts failing during the most critical stretch of the season? And more importantly, does this disaster open the door for a seasoned vet to come in and fix the secondary? Because the next chapter might bring exactly that kind of impact. Surprise? Maybe. Perfect timing? You bet your sweet life. What if I told you the name echoing through the VMAC hallways isn't just some random street free agent, but Quandre Diggs, the dude who held down center field like he owned the keys to the Emerald City for 3 years? Brady Henderson from ESPN dropped the bomb. Seattle is working to bring Diggs back, initially for the practice squad. But let's be real. You don't bring a multi-time Pro Bowler back just to hold clipboards. There's something bigger cooking here, and you know it. Context matters. The secondary is duct taped together right now. Julian Love is still a question mark. Ty Okada, our makeshift hero, is likely done for a bit. DeAnthony Bell plays hard, but he ain't the guy you want as the last line of defense against an explosive offense. Then suddenly, Diggs pops up. Not as a vague rumor, not as fan speculation. The man himself posts a pic of his daughter with Blitz, dropping cryptic lyrics about coming home. Coincidence? Listen, 12s, you know as well as I do. There are no coincidences in the NFL. Look, at 31, is he the same Diggs from 2020 or 2021? Maybe not. But you can't teach that IQ, that ball hawk instinct, and that deep understanding of Seattle's defense in a week. It's in his DNA. And that's exactly what McDonald needs right now, stability. Remember that I got this energy Earl Thomas used to have? Diggs brings a piece of that, a presence that lets the rest of the defense breathe. Think about it. We've been getting gashed on play action and deep balls lately. Darnold started giving the ball away, keeping our defense on the field way too long. We need maturity to fight for the division title. Bringing Diggs back isn't nostalgia. It isn't romanticism. It's a business move. It's saying we aren't letting this season slip through our fingers because we lack depth. The big question is, does he still have the burst? Or is he coming in as the anchor to organize the chaos while the young bucks fly around? And that ties perfectly into the explosive impact of another guy who finally woke up. Explosive. That's the only word for what Kenneth Walker III is finally delivering again. I ain't talking about that potential we've been holding on to. I'm talking about real impact. Yards, ankle-breaking cuts, acceleration, and that feeling that he's going to house it every time he touches the rock. It's almost poetic that Walker rises from the ashes right as the rest of the roster starts crumbling physically. Coincidence? No way. That's a response. Mike McDonald has been preaching balance, and he dropped a hint last week saying Walker was earning the right for more opportunities. It sounded like coach speak, but it was real. Walker dropped 111 total yards on the Rams, another 101 on the Titans, and most importantly, he's back to being the emotional heartbeat of this offense. Did you feel that? Because I felt it. The quick cuts, turning 3-yard losses into 11-yard gains, absorbing contact. That's not just physical, that's mental toughness. And let's be honest, he hasn't hit the century mark purely rushing since week 2, but the passing game has been a trap lately. Picks, late reads, risky throws. When that happens, you need a pillar to lean on, and Walker became that pillar. Tactically, what McDonald did was simple but genius. Instead of forcing Darnold to be the hero, he gave the ball to the hot hand and said, go. It forced defenses to adjust, opened up play action, and gave us a rhythm. Remember that feeling in 2005 when Sean Alexander just needed one block to change the game? I'm not comparing careers, I'm comparing energy. The kind of energy that drags the whole team forward. This resurgence buys us time, especially with 2 key linebackers about to return who could change the physical makeup of the team. But will their return be enough? Relief. That's the vibe when you hear Ernest Jones of 4 and Tyrese Knight are back on the practice field, because amidst the physical chaos, that's like seeing a lighthouse in a storm. But because this is the 2025 Seahawks, nothing is simple. Jones and Knight are on track, according to McDonald, but he dropped a line we can't ignore. Let's see how the knee reacts. We got to take care of him early in the week. That tells me Jones is itching to go, but the team knows they can't afford to burn him out now, not with the defense held together by string. Tyrese Knight looks closer to a full go coming off the concussion protocol, and honestly, he was playing his best football before he went down. Fast, lateral explosion, aggressive reads. Having them back stops Drake Thomas and Patrick O'Connell from having to carry the piano alone. Don't get me wrong, those guys balled out against the Titans. Thomas with 10 tackles was huge, but depth is everything. Now let's address the elephant in the room, the injured reserve list. It's packed. And the NFL doesn't play around with return designations. Seattle only has so many bullets left in the chamber for bringing guys back. If Love, Saubert, Reed, and the rest are all eligible to return between now and week 16, we might literally have 1 slot left for the rest of the year. It's a math problem now. If Okada, Surratt, and Halani hit IR, someone is getting left behind. It's a real headache for McDonald. Do you prioritize immediate impact or save a slot for the long haul? Throw the Diggs rumor into the mix and it gets even crazier. If Diggs comes back, he plugs a hole, but it forces a tough decision on who hits IR. Meanwhile, the offense is finding its groove with Walker putting even more pressure on the defense to match that energy. The scary question is, will these returns stabilize the ship, or are we entering an injury death spiral that could cost us the season? The answer depends on what McDonald is willing to risk. The picture being painted in Seattle is one of controlled tension, guys going down, guys coming back, and strategic chess pieces reappearing on the radar right when we need to find our identity. Kenneth Walker is reigniting the offense at the exact moment the defense tries to regroup with Ernest Jones IV and Tyrese Knight, while the ghost of Quandre Diggs looms over the facility, hinting that the secondary might be getting a massive shakeup. Are we looking at a team showing grit and growth, or is this a patchwork squad just trying to survive? You tell me, Seattle, what's your read on this pivotal moment? Sound off in the comments, 12th man. I want to know what you think.